Hey guys, this video we're going to take a look at this Inoviva slushy flavor-filled frozen drink maker. They were nice enough to send me this for free so I can make this video showing it to you. I want to get it all unboxed, show you all the parts and pieces, and then make a drink and see what we think. The first thing we get right on top is a quick start guide, which actually shows a little bit of the machine, and then look at this. We can change the thickness. We got slushies, milkshakes, got a cleaning cycle, even a child lock. It also has a much larger full-size manual, but I just want to show you how good the directions and the pictures all are. Nice full color catalog here, and then we even have little recipes for making different types of drinks. A couple of things to mention before we get into it. Well, first, all the parts and pieces. You get the big boy maker right here, obviously. And then you're going to have the user manual, the quick start guide. This little handle guy goes on top here. And then this little catch tray that goes on the bottom. And those are the only pieces that you have in there. So that's good. There's not really any assembly. I mean, very little assembly to go with this. One thing it says is, for your first use, stand it up for 2 hours before you turn it on for the refrigerant to settle. If you've ever picked up like a refrigerator, mini fridge, ice makers, different things like that, they all say that. You want to let it settle, so set it up for 2 hours. Just let it sit so gravity does its work. The other thing is it wants you to clean the bin, the blade, and the condensation tray before you start going to work with anything. So to show you, that's this lever right here. You just lift it up and then pull this straight forward. So we're going to wash our little bin here, and then the little stir blade just pulls right off like so. We're going to wash that. And then here's our little condensation tray, and we pull that out and wash that. So you're probably going to wash that stuff after every use, but you can see how easy it is just to pull right on out. The other thing that I wanted to mention is the dimensions. Now, I know I already kind of took it apart, so that messes that up, but I can still tell you. It's about 16 inches front to back, and if we look at... Oh, as I trip over things. If we look at the back, the cable can basically sit flush with the machine, but they do want 3/4 of an inch of an air gap along each side. So it's 16 inches front to back. It's about 16 inches tall, but you will need a little extra clearance for lifting the flap and putting stuff in it. And then it is 7 inches left to right. Again, 3/4 of an inch at least on each side to dissipate heat so it doesn't get too hot or anything. Get some airflow to it. So I'm going to wash up those pieces, and then we'll come back for the next step. While that stuff dries, I did see there's also 2 cleaning brushes in the box for helping, especially the spout where the fluid comes down at. Attach this guy. There's just a little clip that will hold it in place, but it mostly just kind of sits there. And then that other gray piece was the plastic handle, this guy right here. And it literally just slides on, just snaps into place, and you're done. As those pieces are drying, I just wanted to point out 2 things in the instructions before those dry and we start making our own drinks. First, it says do not add ice or solid ingredients like fruit, ice cream, or frozen fruit. Also, do not add hot ingredients. It can take up to 15 to 60 minutes for the frozen drink to be ready depending on the ingredients, volume, and starting temperature. It does give you an indication. We're going to plug this in. This little screen will light up, and that's all your buttons too. It'll give you an indication when your drink is ready. It'll have a little icon on there. So you fill up the container first between the min and max line. Whatever you put in has to have sugar in it. We're going to talk more about that in a second, but it has to be a sugary drink. Now, we're going to specifically talk about fruit type drinks or shakes maybe, or frappes. It does make a different style of drink, which you may already know, but in an effort to stay within what is allowed, we're not going to touch on those, but there's a whole nother page on here that it gives you instructions on those types of drinks, which you know what I'm talking about. So to make a frozen drink, it says plug it in, and then you hit the power button that'll be over here. We'll get to that in a second. And then to dispense, you just pull the lever forward, which you probably already know. But this is the important part. Required sugar content. All drink liquid to be added shall contain at least 5% sugar. Too little sugar will prevent proper freezing of slushy. Sugar-free substitutes or artificial sweeteners will not aid in meeting total minimum or maximum sugar requirements. Has to be real sugar. It can't be Sweet and Low or Truvia or whatever. It's got to be sugar. Here it says 8 ounces, 12 grams, 12 ounces, 18 grams, 20 ounces, 30 grams. And it gives some little examples here on this guy. Now, low sugar alert. Stir blade makes continuous rubbing noise when the liquid added is of low sugar. Each time the unit makes rubbing noise, it will stop cooling and restart automatically. The unit will turn off after restarting 6 times. If a drink does not meet the minimum requirement of total sugar, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of flavored syrup, juice, sugar, and a bunch of different options it gives you. So even if you have something that by itself doesn't meet the requirements, you can add to it to get it to the level that it needs to be. You want to mix that up together before you put it into the container for this guy here. Now, we can make a drink. Oh man, guys, I'm getting excited. I was going through this, trying to decide what we're going to make for the video. A soda slushie. Root beer calling my name. Look at that. It just says pour in 2 cans. Hit slushie mode. Boom. Let's say 15 minutes. We got soda slushies. So that's one thing that I definitely want. We're going to try that. And then I want to show you here. This is good. The back, it has a bunch of individual recipes like that, like I showed you earlier. Some of these different ones that are available, and it shows you how to make it. But in the back, there's also this for different things. Like here's slushie. There's a milkshake one. There was, I think, a frappe or coffee page. But anyways, and then there's the unmentionable page. But it gives you ideas of different things you can add and the amounts you need for different things. So really good little book. About to go work out, and I thought, you know what? Let's see if we can make a frozen protein shake. So we're going to use the Inoviva slushy shake maker, frozen drink maker. And then we have some Optimum Nutrition whey protein and some Optimum Nutrition BCAAs. We're going to see if we can make ourselves a frozen protein drink, get it all mixed up in the machine. It's going to be mixing up, freezing up, and everything while we're working out. We get done, boom, we're ready to go. Now, the machine has to have sugar in the mixture in order to work. I filled my glass up, or my blender bottle, up to 20 ounces because the machine says a minimum of 16 up to 48, and since 20 was on here, we're just going to go with that. May reduce it a little bit in the future. Now you need 30 grams of sugar for the machine to work right, and the whey has 1 gram per scoop. I'm going to put 2 scoops in there, so I needed 2 tablespoons about sugar into my blender bottle. So we got 20 ounces of water. We got 2 tablespoons there. We're going to throw in 2 scoops of our whey protein. That's 1. May have to do a little bit less water in the future. This gets us a good starting point. And 2. By the way, I like the vanilla. Also, if I had it, you can mix this with milk, and that would probably have some sugar in it, so you wouldn't have to add separately. Now we have our BCAAs, 1,000 milligrams. We're going to take 2 of those. Pop these guys open. Hopefully my arm's not totally in the way. Now we need to get it all mixed up in the blender bottle, and then we'll pour it into the Inoviva. Protein shake's all mixed up. We're going to go ahead and pour it in. Yeah, there we go. Plug it in, turn her on. It's a little dim, but we do have the power button at the bottom here. Turn that on. We have slushy, frappe, milkshake. We're doing a milkshake. And then we can change the thickness. You can see by default it's kind of in the middle there. And then we have a play button, so we'll go ahead and go. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Look at it go. Now it'll beep at us and there'll be an icon down here when it is ready to go. So we'll come back after our workout, see what it looks like. Workout's all done. Look at it go. Now I was thinking of a couple of things as I was working out. One, for all the shake settings, it wants heavy cream. I'm assuming to make it thicker. I think the water we started with was too thin. Should have went with the heavy cream, or even whole milk would probably thicken it up some. Or instead of the shake setting, I should have went with the slushy setting, and then it would be maybe a little bit better. But either way, for our first attempt, this is good. Now I'm going to open up the spigot and see what we got. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at that. I better pay attention, make sure we don't fill it up too much. Now we're a little low on fluid up here. We're going to go ahead and turn this guy off. Let's see how it tastes. I'm going to need a straw or a spoon. It's actually really good and very shake-like because it's very thick to get through this straw. Get ready for the brain freeze too. We got to keep this on so it stays cold and mixing. Oh yeah. Now that we're done with our beautiful protein shake, I want to try the clean setting. It says you can add water up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's pretty hot. Definitely hot tap water should be fine. Up to 48 ounces, that's the max on the machine. It says tap the clean button and then the play button. And once completed, place a large cup on the dip tray and slowly dispense water from the container, about 48 ounces I would say. And then turn off the unit. So let's see how that works. Get the hot water, you can kind of see a little steam coming off of it. We're just going to pour however much this is right up in the gullet here. Water's all in, almost got it up to the 48 ounces. And one thing, this screen could definitely be brighter. See, the bottom right is clean. And we'll hit play. It says the clean cycle takes about 4 minutes. And then we'll drain it all out, hopefully back into that pitcher. Clean cycle's all done. Still have to wash it, but this will get most of our stuff out of there. We're going to make some Hawaiian Punch slushies with our Inoviva frozen drink maker. Now it says it needs 16 ounces at a minimum to make their slushies. These are 10-ounce bottles of the Hawaiian Punch Fruit Juicy Red. So we're going to pour in 2 of these bottles and then set it to the slushy setting. And it'll take, it says, anywhere from 15 minutes to 1 hour to make our slushie. I'm trying to look where I'm pouring in at the camera at the same time. That was almost dangerous. And number 2. So there we are. So we're going to go ahead and hit the power button. Hit the slushy button. We can change the thickness. We'll just leave it where it's at. Hit play. We'll let it do its thing. And check on it in a little bit. Look at that. We're already getting all slushy-like. I wish I would have timed it, but it's only been like 5 or 10 minutes. It has not been very long at all. Oh man. Tell me that doesn't look amazing. Amazing! Now let's give it a little pull. Oh yeah. Here we go. Ooh. All the goodness. Oh, let's not overfill it now. I think I might need a straw. That's good. Oh yeah, look at that. From Hawaiian Punch to boom, slushy. Inoviva. Boom. Man. And once we're done, we'll do the clean cycle up to 48 ounces of hot water. You can see right there. And then we're going to hit the power button and we're going to hit clean, which is the bottom right corner. Hit play. And that'll go for about 4 minutes. Then we'll get a little catch to clean it all out. And we'll be in business again. Now we're going to make some frozen Cokes, or Coke slushies, if you will, using our Inoviva frozen drink maker. You ever been somewhere that has the frozen Cokes? They tell you we can't make it, our machine's broke. Don't worry about their machine. You got your own. You can do it yourself right from home. So we have the 12-pack of Coke Original Taste, Coke Classic, the good stuff, okay? Now, the drinks need to have sugar in them, which obviously we all know Coke has the sugar in it. The other important thing to know, it's a minimum of 16 ounces, a maximum of 48 ounces. So we're going to need 2 cans at least. Of course, you could always do more. Go big or go home. Get our 2 cans, pour them in the little hopper guy right here. And in no time, we're going to have Coke slushies. There it is, guys, the Inoviva frozen drink maker. Thanks for watching.